Upon waking up, Qin Mu crossed into the world of devouring the starry sky. And become a member of the scavenger team, just as the team is being slaughtered by bloodthirsty leopards. At the critical moment of life and death, killing enemies becomes stronger and the system awakens. As long as you kill enemies, you can obtain various rewards. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. Kill the bloodthirsty panther and reward the Thunderblade 9. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. Kill the Lord level Silver Moon Fierce Wolf and reward 1 cultivation promotion card. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. Kill the Beast Emperor and reward the Shield Sky Shuttle. Hundreds of years later, Qin Mu stood at the top of the universe, overlooking the vast Milky Way. Behind him, billions of Zerg legions, millions of mechanical immortals, and tens of thousands of starry beasts all surrendered here. Keywords of the novel. Swallowing the starry sky. Killing enemies makes you stronger. I am invincible without pop-ups. Swallowing the starry sky. Killing enemies makes you stronger. I am invincible. Download the full text of the text. Swallowing the starry sky. Killing enemies makes you stronger. I am invincible. Read the latest chapter. Chapter 1. Garrison Team, Devouring the Starry World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Garrison Team, Devouring the Starry World. Hiss. My head hurts so much. Jiangnan Bay City. A wilderness area 300 miles away from the periphery. At this moment, a young man covered in blood slowly opened his eyes and looked around at the unfamiliar environment. His eyes were full of confusion, and a memory flooded into his mind. It was only when Qin Mu opened his eyes again. The pupils, which were originally somewhat confused, became clear and bright. RR virus. The scavenger team is in the wilderness area. Bloodthirsty leopard, have I traveled through time? Here. It seems like a world devouring the starry sky. In the memories that emerged from his mind, Qin Mu finally sorted out his thoughts. He is no longer on Earth today. But instead, he came to the world of the novel, Swallowing the Starry Sky, that he often read, and the original owner's identity was a member of a scavenger team. In this dangerous world of devouring stars, the status of the scavenger team is not generally low. You should know that monsters often appear outside the city. Although the areas they are responsible for collecting waste have all been cleared by warriors, there are inevitably omissions. Just like now, the original owner and a few friends originally wanted to take advantage of the beast tide to fade away. Come and pick up some good things to sell. After hunting monsters, those warriors usually only take the expensive heads, while the worthless bodies stay in place. But this is also relative to being worthless, for warriors who have the ability to venture through wilderness areas. This monster corpse is naturally not valuable. They can easily hunt and kill a bunch. For a scavenger team like Qin Mu, the meat of this monster is quite expensive. If it's a good time, pick up a complete monster corpse and take it back. That's enough money to eat for half a year. In this world where monsters ravage, to survive, one must either become a warrior or sell labor to those wealthy families. Otherwise, there will only be one last path left for scavenging. Am I crossing over just to be a scavenger? That would be too embarrassing for the army of travelers. Qin Mu smiled bitterly. Unexpectedly, after reading so many travel novels, the protagonists in them are all hilarious. When it was my turn, I could only fall to the bottom. Just as Qin Mu was feeling frustrated. In the distance, the roar of a monster came. And the sound is getting closer and closer. Not good, that bloodthirsty leopard hasn't left yet. Is it just so cool? Qin Mu said somewhat unwillingly. Unexpectedly, as soon as I crossed over, I hung up. However, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Anyway, he's not a warrior either. Instead of spending his whole life here as a scavenger, why not die? However, the teeth of the bloodthirsty leopard look quite sharp. If you take one bite, it will hurt a lot. Qin Mu's forehead broke out in cold sweat. And just as he was determined to die, suddenly a voice came to his mind. Ding Dong detected a crisis in the host, and issued a special attack to strengthen the system. Is it bound? Bind. Qin Mu said without hesitation. With years of experience in reading novels, he naturally understands the role of systems. This is the essential golden finger for travelers. It seems that I am also going to be arrogant. However, what kind of ghost is this stronger system when killing enemies, and what is its purpose? Ding Dong, the system binding is successful. This system aims to assist the host and achieve the strongest in the universe. As long as the host kills enemies, they can receive rewards. In addition, completing the tasks released by the system can also earn corresponding rewards. Is killing enemies enough to earn rewards? It's a bit interesting, Qin Mu pondered. Ding Dong, considering that the host is binding the system for the first time, a newbie reward has been released. Do you want to claim it? Claim it. Qin Mu nodded and said. Ding Dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining the talent of a spiritual master. Ding Dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining the perfect level supernatural gene potion. Ding Dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining the 9 thunder knives, first 3. Looking at the 3 items opened in the beginner's gift package, Qin Mu's face showed a look of ecstasy. I have to say, this beginner gift package is really generous. The 3 things that come out are all good things. Not to mention anything else, just the talent of spiritual minders has already been earned. It should be noted that in Devouring the Starry Sky, spiritual minders can be said to be a special existence among martial artists. Anyone with spiritual minder talent is invincible in the same level. And the protagonist Feng really has a talent for spiritual enlightenment. That's why it rose so quickly. As for the perfect supernatural level gene potion, it can also improve his physique. You should know that the original master cannot practice because his body is too weak to cultivate martial arts. And with this supernatural level gene potion. But it's different, it can completely change one's physique. Not only that, but it can also elevate his physical fitness to the next level. In addition, there are also the techniques of the first 3 layers of the 9 thunder knife. These few things alone are enough to make him wander in this wilderness area. Of course, the most important thing at the moment is to first get rid of the bloodthirsty leopard, and anything else is unnecessary. Thinking of this, Qin Mu immediately received the reward. As the talent of a spiritual thinker flooded into his mind, his brain domain was also instantly expanded. In just a moment of effort, Qin Mu's vision, hearing, and perception all experienced explosive improvements. Meanwhile, the perfect level supernatural gene potion is also starting to take effect. Qin Mu felt that all 4 limbs and bones were filled with violent power. This force flows through the meridians and rushes to various parts of the body. The originally thin and weak body has become sturdy, with tangled muscles everywhere. Underneath these muscles lies a terrifying force. Today's Qin Mu. I just feel like I can break through the sky with just a wave of my hand. Of course, this is just a speculation brought about by the rapid increase in strength. With his current strength, he can at most break through the load bearing wall. I don't know, what level have I reached now? System, View Property Panel. Host. Qin Mu, age. 17 years old, power level. Intermediate warrior, spiritual mindfulness master. Junior general, practice. 9-fold thunder blade, first 3 layers, power. 3,872 kilograms, speed. 49 meters per second. Looking at the attribute panel provided by the system, Qin Mu nodded with satisfaction. Nowadays, although he is only an intermediate warrior, his strength and speed have approached the threshold of advanced warriors, only 1 step away. And the level of my spiritual mind master has already reached the level of a junior general, plus the first 3 layers of the 9 Thunder Saber. At this moment, Qin Mu is confident that he can challenge E.level monsters. Even D.level monsters have the power to fight first. Even if you can't win, you can still run away. And just as Qin Mu was immersed in improving his strength. In the nearby wilderness grass, the bloodthirsty leopard, which had just finished gnawing on its body, finally revealed its form. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Bloodthirsty Panther, Perfect Level Body Method. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Bloodthirsty Panther, Perfect Level Body Method, Roar. The bloodthirsty leopard let out a roar. Surrounded by it, there are also many H.level monsters. These monsters were all glaring fiercely at Qin Mu, ready to launch an attack. With the roar of the bloodthirsty leopard falling. All the monsters, at this moment, are rushing forward. Animal, dare to come and seek death. Qin Mu looked at the bloodthirsty leopard and a familiar feeling surged in his memory. Obviously, just now, it was this guy who slaughtered all the scavenger teams. Now it was finally time for revenge. Thinking of this, Qin Mu rushed towards the monster group without hesitation. With his current intermediate warrior strength, he naturally had no problem killing these H.level monsters. With 3 fists and 2 kicks, all 4 H.level monsters have been slain. At this moment, there are only Qin Mu and E.level bloodthirsty leopards left in the field. The latter roared with anger, and the sharp teeth at the corner of his mouth still had a bloody smell. His massive body gave people a kind of pressure. It must be said that monsters do have a natural advantage over human warriors. Just this physique and brutal appearance. It is enough to scare off ordinary warriors. Unfortunately, Qin Mu, who had watched the anime many times, had already become accustomed to it. Not only did he not have any fear, but he still felt eager to try. Seems to feel the provocation of the tiny human in front of me. The bloodthirsty leopard also started to move, and as it moved forward, the ground began to vibrate. I have to say, although this bloodthirsty leopard is bulky in size, its speed is not slow at all. In the blink of an eye, it has already arrived in front of Qin Mu. Its huge claws are raised high and it hits him heavily, as if it is like a mountain, trying to crush Qin Mu to death. However, regarding this point, Qin Mu had been ready. He left the attack range of the bloodthirsty wild leopard with old dagger, glutinous rice rolls with sweet bean flour. At the same time, spiritual and mental abilities are activated. Stones were floating in the air all around. In the next moment, they rushed towards the bloodthirsty leopard, and countless stones hit its body. At first, the bloodthirsty leopard was able to resist, but gradually it couldn't hold on, and many scars appeared on its body. However, these injuries are for the bloodthirsty leopard with rough skin and thick flesh. It's not worth mentioning at all. Roar! 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 The bloodthirsty leopard is even more angry. After all, in its eyes, Qin Mu is just a plate of food. But now this food dares to resist and even hurts it, it's a great shame. Sure enough, although he has the spirit of a war general, it's not easy to seriously injure this guy without good weapons. Qin Mu looked at the slightly injured bloodthirsty leopard with a somewhat unpleasant expression. I thought that with the spirit and willpower of a war general, it shouldn't be difficult to solve this guy. How could I not find a suitable weapon for myself? It is obviously impossible to kill this guy by relying solely on the stones pulled by his imagination. That won't work, can we just run away? Qin Mu said with some regret. As for close combat, there is no need to think about it at all. With the strength of an average warrior, if you approach the bloodthirsty leopard, it is almost certain to die. It seems that we can only let this guy go for now. Qin Mu instinctively wanted to withdraw. At this moment, the sound of the system rang in my ears again. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for killing the H-level mutated leopard and rewarding the Thunderbolt Blade. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for killing the H-level mutated leopard. Reward a roll of toilet paper. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for killing the H-level mutated leopard. Reward a box of toothpicks. Watch the system prompt for rewards to be issued. Qin Mu's face showed a smile. He was really dozing off and came to the pillow. He had some regrets just now and didn't have a good weapon. He didn't expect it to come so soon. Claim. As the words fell, the lightning blade appeared in the hands of Qin Mu. Looking at the lightning blade that resembled a circular arc, Qin Mu's face showed a look of love. This thunderbolt flying blade, as its name suggests, is a combination of 8 flying blades forming a circular arc, making it an excellent weapon for spiritual masters. After use, 8 flying blades can simultaneously attack the target. And each flying blade has an impact force of nearly 2,000 kilograms, equivalent to a full strike from an intermediate warrior. Good thing, really good thing. Qin Mu smiled and chanted. Then he looked at the bloodthirsty leopard and said, "Let's take you to try my thunderbolt blade first." As the words fell, the spiritual power was activated, and the circular arc flew into the air. Then, the 8 flying blades separated and, under the control of Qin Mu, surrounded the bloodthirsty leopard from all directions until all its retreat routes were sealed off. Qin Mu waved his hand and said, "Goodbye." Shoo! 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 The spiritual and mental power controlled 8 flying blades, cutting through the limbs of the bloodthirsty leopard. In an instant, the legs of the bloodthirsty leopard were already broken, and blood splattered out. Originally a fierce bloodthirsty leopard, the pupils were filled with fear. Subconsciously, they wanted to escape, but it was too late. Its limbs were cut off. Where else can we escape? 8 flying blades continued to cut through the body of the bloodthirsty leopard, one of which, under the control of Qin Mu, slashed across the monster's neck, splattering blood. The huge head had already fallen to the ground. Even until death, the bloodthirsty leopard's gaze was still somewhat unwilling. A monster that can be promoted to level E already has some intelligence. Anyway, it can't figure out why a tiny human that was originally pursued by itself can possess such terrifying power. Is it difficult? Starting from scratch, it has always been this human plan. Unfortunately, the bloodthirsty leopard is no longer able to obtain the answer. I can only leave with doubts. After killing the bloodthirsty leopard, Qin Mu put its head in his backpack. This is a good thing that can be exchanged for money when he goes back. Even in this fierce beast-ravaging apocalypse, money is still very important. Without money, there are no cultivation resources, so we cannot waste them. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. Kill the bloodthirsty panther and obtain a reward of perfect body method. Claim. After Qin Mu tidied up the spoils of war. Looking at the reward given by the system, a smile appeared on my face again. You should know that this perfect level body method is crucial for improving my strength. If I had just developed a perfect level body method. So, even in close combat, it can consume the bloodthirsty leopard to death. After all, even a low-level body method can avoid most of the damage, and if it is a perfect level body method, it is difficult for the bloodthirsty leopard to hit itself. This body method may seem useless, but in combat, it is crucial. After having it, one's own shortcomings in close combat are also filled in. It's time to go back to the base. Qin Mu was about to leave here and return to the base to sell bloodthirsty leopards, but at that moment, a voice stopped him. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Hammer Squad, Luo Feng. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Hammer Squad, Luo Feng. Pop pop pop. Amazing, amazing. It's really a young hero. Little brother, I've seen your recent battle. Even the E.level Bloodthirsty Panther is not a match for many experienced junior generals. You're young enough to kill it, your strength is amazing. Upon hearing the sudden sound, Qin Mu instinctively clenched the lightning blade in his hand, with a hint of vigilance on his face and a ready to take action at any moment. Although the base has explicit regulations, wilderness areas prohibit human infighting, killing, and looting. It can be stipulated that one is dead, but one is alive. Anyway, there's no monitor here, even if it's a real treasure hunt, who would know? So, Qin Mu had no choice but to be cautious. Follow the sound and look. I only saw a middle-aged man standing there, with a smiling appearance, and 5 teammates following behind him, all wearing a silver-white badge on their chests. In the center of the badge, there is an image of a hammer. This is... Shouldn't have encountered the main leader. Fire Hammer Squad. Qin Mu almost instinctively shouted out. After all, he had watched the starry sky devour too many times, and he could only remember the emblem of the Fire Hammer Squad as clearly as possible. This is the protagonist Luo Feng, the team he was part of in the early stages. Oh. Little brother, do you also know our Fire Hammer team? Gao Feng asked excitedly. I was not surprised that Qin Mu could call out their names. In this Jiangnan base city, there are still quite a few people who know about their Fire Hammer Squad. I know, the Fire Hammer team is the elite team in our base city, Qin Mu said casually. Are you interested in joining us? Gao Feng asked, with a hopeful expression in his eyes. As he wandered through this wilderness, the strength of the team naturally improved. Especially, he had just watched the battle and had already discovered that Qin Mu was a spiritual master. This is extremely rare in the wilderness team. With Qin Mu around, many times they don't need to take risks and check where there are monsters. As long as Qin Mu uses his telepathy, he can easily detect the monsters. In this way, the safety of the team needs to be significantly improved. Qin Mu hesitated. Little brother, in this way, as long as you join us, you can take 20% of the gains in the team on your own. We will share the rest, and in addition, we have found traces of hunters nearby. If you venture alone, you may encounter danger, but with our protection, safety will be greatly improved. Gao Feng once again threw out an olive branch to invite him. It has to be said that the captain's sincerity is definitely enough to sacrifice 20% of the benefits. Of course, if that's all. Qin Mu didn't have much interest either, only 2 things really made him decide to join the Fire Hammer team. Firstly, there are hunting teams nearby, and joining them is indeed safer. Secondly, this is the team that Luo Feng belongs to. Many opportunities were obtained here in the early stage, and now that he has traveled through it, Qin Mu will certainly not miss it. Thinking of this, Qin Mu immediately nodded and said, Okay, I promise you. Brothers, let's welcome this. I'm sorry, little brother, I forgot to ask what your name is. Gao Feng asked awkwardly halfway through his words. Qin Mu. Yes, let's welcome Qin Mu to join the Fire Hammer Squad, continued Gao Feng. Let me introduce you to Qin Gu, the deputy captain of our team. He is responsible for firepower suppression in the team. That's Zhang Ku, who is faster and is responsible for interfering with the back row. In addition, Wei Qing and Wei Tai, these are twin brothers who, like me, are both tough and tough. Also, let me introduce this, brother Luo Feng. Like you, he has just joined our team. Despite his young age, he has a wealth of hunting experience. Our Fire Hammer team was able to come here because he has also helped a lot. Quickly, Gao Feng had already introduced all the members of the team. And everyone also welcomed Qin Mu's joining. After all, having him around will greatly improve one's own safety. And Luo Feng looked at Qin Mu with a hint of admiration. I thought that at his age, he could reach his current cultivation level, which was already impressive, but who could have imagined that Qin Mu was even stronger than him and looked even younger on the outside. Hello everyone, I need to trouble you a lot next. Qin Mu also greeted with a smile. They are all in the same team, just take care of each other. Qin Mu grinned, but the scar on his face made his smile look a bit more sinister. By the way, team leader, did you just say you discovered the hunter? Qin Mu asked. Silver Moon Wolf. And if I hadn't miscalculated, this beast would have at least reached level C. Unfortunately, Qin Mu, you just joined our team. If you had been there during our previous battle with that beast, we might have killed that guy. Speaking of this, Feng still feels a bit regretful. You should know that the value of the Silver Moon Wolf is quite expensive. This type of monster is also quite cunning among hunters and difficult to kill. Therefore, the base offers a very high price, even for an intermediate or even junior Silver Moon Wolf. That price is also sky high. Moreover, this is still a C.level, high.level beast general level Silver Moon Ferocious Wolf. If we catch this thing back in the next 6 months, they won't have to come out to do tasks. High-level beast generals. Can we catch them? Qin Mu said with some concern. With his current strength, if he encounters a primary beast general, perhaps he can still touch it, but if he is advanced, it is almost a presence that has been instantly killed, let alone the cunning Silver Moon Ferocious Wolf. Don't worry. That beast had already been injured before encountering us. It should have been injured by a war god and then fled here. Unfortunately, it's too fast for us to keep it. However, during the battle just now, we had already placed a locator on it, so we could find it at any time. This time, with your joining, we can definitely kill this beast. At this point, Feng still had a confident expression on his face. Luo Feng, Fire Hammer Squad, High Beast General, Injured Silver Moon Wolf, Lying Trough, shouldn't it be so coincidental? Isn't this the time they were ambushed by Tiger Tooth Squad? Just heard the introduction of Feng. Qin Mu had a familiar feeling. Now I finally remember. It is obvious that the Silver Moon Wolf this time was the trap designed by the Tiger Tooth team for the Fire Hammer team. I am really lucky. As soon as I arrived, I caught up with such a grand scene. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Silver Moon Wolf, Beast General Level Monster. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Silver Moon Wolf, Beast General Level Monster, Captain, the Silver Moon Wolf has stopped. The location is in the C5 area, 765145, should we go over immediately? Vice Captain Qin Mu fiddled with the positioning device in his hand. I only saw a green dot on the screen, parked there. It is obvious that this is the location of the Silver Moon Wolf. Without delay, we set off immediately and finally encountered an injured Silver Moon Ferocious Wolf. We must not let it go. If this is discovered by other teams, we will lose a lot, said Feng without hesitation. Then, wave your hand. Captain Feng took the lead in walking forward. Everyone in the team followed suit, and upon seeing the situation, Qin Mu wanted to remind him. But when it came to speaking, it still didn't come out. After all, if they ask themselves this, how do they know? He can't answer either. Simply put, the Tiger Tooth team cannot pose any threat. Now, with the addition of oneself, I believe that solving the Huya team is even easier. So, Qin Mu just secretly became wary and followed suit. At the same time, on a tall building in the C5 area, there are several fully equipped warriors waiting here. If Feng, Luo Feng, and others saw them, they would definitely be able to recognize them at a glance. These people are their arch-rivals. The Tiger Tooth team. Captain, the Silver Moon Wolf is hiding under the ruins on the first floor. Should we take action now? Don't worry, wait a little longer. Captain, what are you waiting for? If another team discovers the Silver Moon Wolf, we'll be in big trouble. We've been keeping an eye on this beast for a long time, said Dong, who was in charge of monitoring anxiously. I wish I could go down immediately and kill the Silver Moon Wolf. Hee, what I'm waiting for is another team. Don't be fooled by the Silver Moon ferocious wolf, which has been seriously injured, but this beast is notorious for its cunning. The injuries on its body can only be fought by a strong warrior at the level of the god of war. Think about it, it can even escape the god of war. Can we kill it in a short time? If we can't kill it, wouldn't we let others take advantage of it? Panya spoke up and explained. That face still had a calm and carefree expression, without any anxiety. But what if other teams were to take the lead? Isn't that just right? Originally, we could only hunt and kill a Silver Moon ferocious wolf. If other teams intervened, we would wait for them to both lose and deal with them together. The teams that can make a name for themselves here have some foundation, and then we will become rich. Panya said this and laughed. And everyone in the team also showed a smile. Obviously, they have done this kind of thing more than once. Captain Wise. That's right, Dong. What's your hurry? Wait a little longer. We all listen to the captain. Now, we're going to get rich. Upon hearing the compliments from everyone, Panya's face also showed joy. At this moment, Adong, who had been in charge of monitoring, spoke up again. Team, it seems that another team has entered the intersection. Let me take a look at their badges. It seems like the Fire Hammer Squad. Oh. The Gao Feng group. This is really like stepping on iron shoes and finding nowhere to go. It takes no effort to get it. These bastards from the Fire Hammer Squad always stop us from hunting other teams, and I also heard that they have reported us to the base, but there is no evidence, so it's over. Let's settle the new and old accounts together this time. It seems that they are also targeting the Silver Moon Wolf, so let's take care of them all. By the way, Zihu, I heard you have a grudge against the new member of the Fire Hammer Squad, Luo Feng. Panya said, her gaze still fixed on Zhang Zihu behind the team. That's right. This little bastard hit my nephew and even caused him harm, so he can't be a warrior. I must settle this account with him, Zhang Zihu said angrily. Okay, let's sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight. When they're almost done, the praying mantis will catch cicadas and yellow sparrows. They can both snatch the Silver Moon ferocious wolf and easily eliminate all our enemies. Panya said excitedly. And just as they were plotting on the rooftop. The Fire Hammer Squad has been led by Gao Feng. I found the hiding place of the Silver Moon ferocious wolf and looked at the huge Silver Moon ferocious wolf in front of me. Standing up, I'm afraid it's as tall as 2 floors. It has to be said that this monster at the level of a general is powerful. Just this body shape can also scare people. However, now this Silver Moon ferocious wolf has lost its former prestige. There is a long scar on its abdomen. The bright red blood flowed out along the wound, and the silver-white hair, also soaked in sewage due to the long battle, looked a bit disheveled. Finally found this guy, it's really not easy. Be careful, everyone. Although the Silver Moon Wolf was seriously injured, it is still a monster at the level of a beast general and not easy to deal with. Try to kill it without any damage. Wei Qing, Wei Tai, Luo Feng, you 3 come with me from the front. Chen Gu, you are responsible for suppressing the firepower. Zhang Ku, you need to take a detour to find an opportunity to attack this beast's weaknesses. As for Qin Mu, you are responsible for harassing this beast. If there is a chance, just use your flying knife power to attack its injured parts. With your flying knife power, you will definitely be able to harm it. Set up tasks with high winds. I have to say, the cooperation of the Fire Hammer team is absolutely perfect. The tacit understanding created through years of life and death trials cannot be underestimated. As the words of the high wind fell, everyone also stood in place one after another. Next, Gao Feng directly carried a hammer and rushed towards the Silver Moon ferocious wolf. The twins Luo Feng and Wei Qing, Wei Tai, did not hesitate and began to fight with shields. They stood firm in front of each other. And that silver moon ferocious wolf naturally wouldn't sit idly by. With a terrifying figure, Wei Qin stood up from the ground, roared, and rushed towards the four of them. Soon, they collided, only to hear a bang, and Wei Qin had already thrown out. However, his position has already been captured by Wei Tai. Okay, it's blocked. The firepower is suppressed. Wei Qin, are you okay? Gao Feng looked at the silver moon fierce wolf being blocked in the formation and immediately felt relieved. As long as he didn't break out of their encirclement, there wouldn't be too much casualties. After all, their soldiers have rough skin and thick flesh, and it doesn't matter if they are hit. No problem. Wei Qin flipped over from the ground to fill the gap. Immediately after, Chen Gu and Zhang Ke also started to take action, one suppressing firepower and the other cruising around, occasionally attacking. See here. Qin Mu was not idle either. He immediately activated his psychic power, wielding 8 lightning flying blades, and charged towards the silver moon ferocious wolf. In a moment, the silver moon ferocious wolf was covered in many bloodstains. Seeing this scene, a smile appeared on Gao Feng's face and he said, "Good job, Qin Mu. Keep going, we'll exhaust him today." Okay. Qin Mu also nodded. But at this moment, a sudden mutation occurred. The silver moon fierce wolf, who had been surrounded in the formation, suddenly let out a roar. Immediately after, the hair around the body began to change. Blood streaks spread all over its body, originally a body size of 5 or 6 meters, but once again, it grew to 8 meters. And the overall pressure has also become stronger. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Evolution, Lord-level monsters. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Evolution, Lord-level monsters. How could this be possible? Lord-level monster, it has advanced. Captain, what should we do? The crowd asked anxiously. And Gao Feng's complexion is not very attractive either. I originally wanted to pick up the leak, but who would have thought? At the critical moment, this beast has evolved. Although it is still in a seriously injured state, the concept of a Lord-level monster and a Beast General-level monster is completely different. Life and death are in an instant. Withdraw. After hesitating repeatedly, Gao Feng finally made a decision. At this moment, Qin Mu behind the team looked at the crowd and said, "Don't leave yet. This beast is at the end of its strength. As long as you can help me hold it for 30 seconds, I can kill it. Are you confident?" Gao Feng hesitated for a moment. Have Qin Mu firmly replied. "Okay, since that's the case, then I'll accompany you in a fight. Brothers, don't leave. Anyway, if you run now, this beast will catch up. Just listen to Brother Qin Mu's words and solve it here. Everyone will make a fortune." It seems to have been inspired. Gao Feng also made a decision. And the people in the team naturally have no objections. They turned around and charged towards the silver moon wolf again. The silver moon ferocious wolf saw the humans turning around again. Suddenly, anger filled the crimson circles of his eyes. In its view, these tiny humans are simply provoking its authority. Previously, the reason for being defeated was simply due to serious injuries. But now, it has been upgraded. Even if dragging the injured body, it's not a problem to deal with these humans. These tiny scum, even if they don't run away, dare to fight against it. That's all, then eat these scum first and find a place to rest. The silver moon ferocious wolf immediately rushed towards the crowd. That speed is much faster than just now. And as one claw fell, there was already a faint sound of a sonic boom. What a fast speed! This beast has become much stronger, and we probably won't be able to stop him for long. Stop talking nonsense, hold on to me. I trust Qin Mu brothers, Feng scolded as he listened to his teammates' words. However, his heart was also uncertain. After all, Qin Mu was brought into the team temporarily, and I don't know what tricks he has. They just missed the best opportunity to escape. If Qin Mu can't kill this beast, then... So, the entire team will be thrown here. Get away, let me come. Just as everyone was struggling to support themselves. The Qin Mu behind is finally ready. I saw it holding the lightning blade high, with purple arcs flashing on it. The circular arcs emitted a trembling sound, as if they were about to shatter. 9 layers of thunder blade, 3rd layer, strike me. As the words fell, the circular arc disc in Qin Mu's hand also fell towards the silver moon ferocious wolf. The latter had no time to dodge and was directly hit. In an instant, a popping sound sounded, and the lightning blade fiercely cut into its back. In an instant, blood flowed out, feeling the intense pain from the wound. The silver moon wolf let out a scream of agony. Roar. The roar of wolves spread throughout the fields. There is a door that can break through its defense, Feng said in shock. At the same time, there was also a hint of happiness on the corner of his mouth. Fortunately, he had decided to stay just now, otherwise, the silver moon ferocious wolf at the Lord level would have slipped away for nothing. Since Qin Mu can break through its defense. So it's not a problem to kill this seriously injured beast. But at this moment, a mutation suddenly occurred. The silver moon ferocious wolf, who was already seriously injured and on the brink of death, suddenly pounced on Qin Mu at this moment, its sharp claws flashing cold light and landed on Qin Mu's chest. As long as this claw hit, Qin Mu would undoubtedly die. The angry strike of a Lord-level monster is not a joke. Be careful, quickly dodge. Feng instinctively shouted, but unfortunately it was too late. Everyone in the team closed their eyes and couldn't bear to watch anymore. They had anticipated the outcome of Qin Mu, but for a long time, they did not hear Qin Mu's cries. Opening his eyes, he saw Qin Mu dodge the dying counterattack of the silver moon ferocious wolf in a strange posture. At the same time, the lightning blade was also directly inserted into the abdomen of the silver moon ferocious wolf. It was already seriously injured, and now it has no breath. Its massive body fell heavily to the ground. Seeing this scene, everyone was extremely shocked. What just happened? Too fast, I didn't see clearly. How did you avoid it? Body method, if I'm not mistaken, Qin Mu, you probably avoided it with your body method just now. Moreover, your body method is probably at the advanced level. Zhang Ku leaned in, his face still showing some reverence. Not only at the micro level, but my body method is also at the micro level. But if that blow happened to me just now, I would definitely not be able to avoid it. Qin brothers, your body method should have reached the perfect level. Even, you have reached the threshold of the artistic conception level. Only in this way can you pass more. Not waiting for Qin Mu to speak. Luo Feng was already the first to speak, and there was still a hint of admiration in his words. He thought that at his age, he could reach the level of advanced body method and advanced warrior, as well as the level of medium general spirit and mind master talent, which was already powerful enough. Who would have thought that one mountain is even higher? Qin Mu is actually stronger than him. You should know that body methods are divided into basic level, advanced level, perfect level, and artistic level. Basic level, it's just a simple evasion, not to mention. At the micro level, one can dodge attacks with minimal movement to ensure efficient defense. Perfect level, it is already possible to use all the surrounding environment, mountains, rivers, water flow, buildings, obstacles, and so on, to complete avoidance. As for the highest level of artistic conception, it is beyond their understanding, able to predict the angle of attack through changes in the surrounding environment before the enemy launches an attack, and thus avoid it in advance. Unexpectedly, Qin Mu, at a young age, had already achieved this step. No wonder he just dared to say such bold words. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. Successfully killed the Silver Moon Wolf and obtained a reward cultivation promotion card. After using it, you can be promoted to a higher level warrior and a warrior level spiritual master. Do you want to use it? Use. Qin Mu used it without hesitation. As the words fell, my whole body shook and my cultivation skyrocketed again. Host. Qin Mu, age. 17 years old, power level. Advanced warrior, spirit mentor. Intermediate general level, practice. 9-fold thunder blade, first 3 layers, weapon. Thunderbolt flying blade, power. 5472, speed. 74 meters per second. Looking at the cultivation on the attribute board, Qin Mu nodded with satisfaction, and a smile flashed across his lips. This kind of harvest was not in vain just now. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Tiger Tooth Team, Robbery and Killing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Tiger Tooth Team, Robbery and Killing. And just as the Fire Hammer Squad was cutting through the bodies of the Silver Moon Wolf and collecting loot. At this moment, on the rooftop of a tall building not far away, Tong, who was in charge of monitoring, turned his head to look at the people behind him and said, "Captain, the situation is a bit different from what we thought. There was a person in the Fire Hammer Squad who solved the Silver Moon Wolf." What? How could it be? Isn't the Silver Moon Wolf already advanced? Panya said in shock. Previously, when the Fire Hammer team and the Silver Moon Ferocious Wolf were both defeated in the battle, he had originally planned to take action. But who could have imagined that they would catch up with the Silver Moon Wolf and advance? This Lord-level monster, even if seriously injured, Panya doesn't want to provoke it. The reason why he continues to stay here is to see the outcome of the Fire Hammer Squad. After all, over the years, the two teams have been engaged in open and secret struggles. Both sides have accumulated hatred. Now that they can finally see their difficulties, Panya naturally won't miss them. Really, Captain, what should we do? They have already packed up their war spoils and are ready to withdraw. Adong asked again. Withdraw? Humph, that's great. You've taken such a big advantage and still want to leave. Today, we'll leave them all here. However, I really didn't expect that this Fire Hammer Squad still has some strength. Surprisingly, they can deal with the Lord-level Silver Moon Fierce Wolf, but now they should also be at the end of their strength. Prepare now, let's start the robbery. Panya ordered. Upon hearing these words, everyone also took their positions one after another. Adong, Li Xiao, you two are responsible for sniping. Whenever there's a chance, just call me to death and kill that person named Luo Feng first to avenge Zihu. Alright. The two nodded. Zihu, you and Tai too, go attract a group of monsters and lead them there. We will try our best to mess up the situation. As long as there is trouble, we will be able to take action easily. We cannot let go of any of them this time, Panya said fiercely. Don't worry, Captain. Zhang Zihu and Tai Tu also responded and walked downstairs. Monsters are everywhere here. And they also have sound wave jammers. Those monsters hate such sounds the most, and as soon as they hear them, they will be attracted to come. Therefore, this task is not difficult, and not long after, the two of them have already attracted a large number of monsters. Then throw the jammer towards the direction of Qin Mu and others. That big H-level monster also rushed over. Previously, when the Silver Moon Ferocious Wolf was alive, these low-level monsters were naturally afraid to go to that place under pressure. Now, the aura of the Silver Moon Ferocious Wolf has disappeared, and these monsters have no worries. Nearly 100 monsters are besieging from all directions. Captain, Ironhead and I have attracted 4 or 5 groups of monsters. How about that? Zhang Zihu looked excited. Okay, well done. Next, let's wait. Adong and Li Xiao, you two pay attention and must take advantage of the chaos to snipe and kill. Kill the members of the Fire Hammer squad as much as possible. Panya ordered again. Don't worry, Captain. Now we can make a fortune. Lord Level Silver Moon Wolf, Qin Mu, this time it's really thanks to you, kid. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had this opportunity. We've made a lot of money, Captain. I said we should be able to take a break after this mission is over. A few people in the team. While cutting through the body of the Silver Moon ferocious wolf, he spoke with a smile. The harvest this time is really too great. Even if Qin Mu split 20% of it alone, the rest would be enough for them to eat, drink, and have fun for 2 to 3 years. If they save some money, maybe 5 or 6 years would not be a problem. You kid knows how to rest. Usually, when you do a task, you only take a break for half a month. Haven't you had enough rest yet? This time when we go back, we won't be allowed to spend the money we receive recklessly. All of it will be used to improve our strength. This is an opportunity for our Fire Hammer team. With so much money, if we use it well, we can take our strength to the next level, and then we can also venture into more dangerous places. Maybe one day, we can also become the god of war. At this point, Gao Feng's gaze still had a glimmer of hope. The captain is right. Okay, then I won't spend it recklessly. Coincidentally, I had long wanted to exchange my war knife, but unfortunately I haven't saved enough money. This time, I will exchange it for him. Amidst the laughter and chatter of the crowd. It seems that we have already seen the distant future. Cough, let me talk to a few people. Why don't we stop for a moment? Our trouble is coming. Qin Mu looked at the busy people. Excuse me. What does that mean? Gao Feng looked confused. Now that the biggest trouble has been solved, what more trouble can there be? Just now, that's all. In the distance, the roar of monsters could already be heard. Not long after, the place where everyone was located was already surrounded. Seeing an endless group of monsters, Gao Feng naturally understood what the so-called trouble was. But he didn't take it to heart either. After all, for their Fire Hammer team. What if there are only a few H-level monsters that no longer pose a threat, even if they are in large numbers? As long as you kill slowly, it can take at most 2 to 3 hours to get rid of everything. He still has this confidence. Over the years, he has wandered through wilderness areas and never seen any scenes before. Brothers, let's get to work. First, get rid of these beasts. Let's fight on our own, kill them as quickly as possible, and then return to the supply base. Under the command of Gao Feng, several members of the Fire Hammer squad also raised their weapons and were just preparing to charge. Qin Mu said first, wait a minute, don't worry. Don't you think this is a trap? Trap. Although there are many monsters in the wilderness area, most of them have their own territory. On weekdays, unless they are disturbed, they will not gather together. Moreover, our place is the nest of the Silver Moon Wolf. Although this beast is seriously injured, H-level monsters dare not wander in front of its nest, right? We just killed it, and these monsters quickly surrounded us. There must be some fraud in this. Maybe someone deliberately tricked us. Qin Mu explained to everyone. As for the people in the sea, he naturally knew that it was none other than the Tiger Tooth Squad. However, this obviously cannot be said. It makes sense, everyone be cautious, Gao Feng reminded. As soon as the words fell, in the distance, the sound of 2 sniper guns rang out. Bang! Bang! The silver-white bullet instantly broke through the speed of sound and flew towards Wei Qing and Luo Feng. The two instinctively raised their shields to resist, but it was okay. When Qin Mu just reminded them, they were already prepared, otherwise they would really not be able to stop it. But even if it blocks the bullet, the impact of the sniper rifle is still uncomfortable. Both Luo Feng and Wei Qing took several steps back, especially when they fell, and Wei Qing's mouth was still bleeding, clearly injured by the shock. There are enemies, quickly dodge. Gao Feng immediately reminded me. Everyone scattered and found cover. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Panya, Intermediate General. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Panya, Intermediate General. Lao Gu, can you determine the location of the sniper rifle? The trajectory should be on the building in the southeast direction, but it's not easy for us to counter-kill. With so many monsters outside, if we rush out now, we might be surrounded by a group of monsters, and will be a live target then. We must first get rid of these animals, said Gao Feng with a low voice. I'll do it. Qin Mu said, and his Nianli activated again. The thunderbolt flying blade once again split into 8 flying knives, and under his control, it galloped towards the monsters outside. In an instant, the hundreds of monsters had already been slaughtered. I have to say, this spiritual master is facing the siege. It is truly an excellent means. It can easily resist the tactic of crowds. Alright, there's a chance, let's charge, Gao Feng said without hesitation as he looked at the cleared road. He then headed first towards the southeast building, as for the other members of the Fire Hammer squad. I'm not idle either. They rushed towards the building one after another. On the rooftop, Adong and Li Xiao, who were in charge of sniping, looked at the Fire Hammer squad rushing towards us and quickly turned their heads and said, "No problem, Captain. All those monsters have been killed. The Fire Hammer squad is charging towards us." How could it be? With so many monsters, you shouldn't have misread them, Zhang Zihu said in surprise. Just now, he and Ironhead attracted hundreds of monsters. So many monsters are besieging. Even during their heyday, the Fire Hammer squad required a lot of effort to defeat. However, now that they have just fought against the Lord-level Silver Moon Wolf, their stamina has been depleted. How could they break out of the encirclement so quickly? Ah Dong was not mistaken. The members of the Fire Hammer squad did indeed charge over. Panya put down the silver observation mirror in her hand. That facial injury is also a bit unsightly. Is the Fire Hammer team that powerful? Is it difficult? They have always hidden their strength, Zhang Zihu said in surprise. It's not the hands of the Fire Hammer squad, it's that unfamiliar young man. He should have just teamed up with Fire Hammer. When we came out of the supply base earlier, we didn't see him in the Fire Hammer squad. Moreover, when he just killed the monster, he used the method of a spiritual mage. This is causing trouble. If we offend a spiritual mage, our future life will be difficult. Li Xiao, who has been silent for a long time. At this moment, there is also an expression of embarrassment on the face. If I had known earlier, there would have been a psychic in the Fire Hammer squad. He would rather not take action. After all, interests belong to interests, and preserving one's life is the prerequisite. If one's life is gone, then even the greatest benefits are meaningless. At this point, it's too late to say anything. Isn't he just a spiritual master? I don't believe he can keep killing monsters, isn't he powerful? Zihu, if you and Ironhead go attract another group of monsters, I'll exhaust him. Panya quickly made a decision. Okay. Zihu and Taitu immediately turned around and came down. Not long after, another large number of monsters were attracted. And at this moment, Qin Mu and others have also rushed downstairs. Looking at the even larger group of monsters, Gao Feng looked a bit embarrassed and said, "Excuse me, it seems that they don't intend to fight us head-on, but rather want to use the monster group to consume us." Qin Mu, how many more times can you cast it? Twice. Qin Mu responded. Although the methods of a mental counselor are effective, they also consume a lot of mental energy. Even though Qin Mu is a traveler, his spiritual power is much stronger than that of an ordinary spiritual teacher. But it is ultimately limited. If you use it at most twice today, you cannot use it anymore, otherwise it will damage the foundation. Twice, it's better than I expected. Since that's the case, then don't use it easily. Let's take advantage of our current strength and let's fight our way. These monsters won't gather for no reason, there must be someone luring them. Moreover, since they want to keep luring monsters to consume our energy, it proves that there must be someone hiding around. First, eliminate the hidden people, and then go up to the rooftop. Gao Feng can become the captain of the Fire Hammer team. Nature is not a vegetarian either. With so many years of combat experience, he quickly realized that the reason why monsters can gather in waves must be because someone is behind them, and that person is definitely not on the rooftop. Otherwise, how can he keep attracting monsters all the time? So, as long as the one responsible for attracting monsters is eliminated, the rest is much simpler. Okay. Let's charge. Kill me. I can't bear my big knife anymore. These damn beasts, if you want to eat me, first ask if I agree to the knife in my hand. The members of the Hammer Squad. They rushed towards the monster group one after another. Soon, it was already a path of bloodshed. Watching so many monsters being slaughtered, Zhang Zihu and Iron Head, who had been following from behind, couldn't hide anymore. After all, if they were to be killed, their plan to keep the Fire Hammer Squad here would have failed. At that time, the Fire Hammer Squad will return to the supply base. Their Tiger Tooth team will definitely be punished. We must not let them go back. Zhang Zihu and Tai Tu thought of this and felt a chill in their hearts. They were ready to go out and lure monsters again, but they just showed their heads. Qin Mu, who had been paying attention to the rear, had already seen the two of them and without hesitation, charged towards them with two flying knives. Flash! Be careful! Iron Head and Zhang Zihu almost immediately discovered the flying knife. The two of them reminded their teammates one after another, but it was already too late. They only saw the lightning blade cutting across their necks, two big heads falling heavily to the ground. Even when they died, the two of them still widened their eyes. Obviously, I can't believe it. After all, in their view, the overall strength of myself and the Fire Hammer team is similar. Even if faced head-on, it's impossible to be killed with just one blow. However, what they didn't know was that after killing the Silver Moon Wolf, Qin Mu had already been promoted to the level of a mid-level warrior, and it was effortless to kill both of them. After killing the two people, Qin Mu continued to control the flying knife and began to slaughter the monsters. Soon, all the monsters were hanged. Looking at the corpses of monsters everywhere, a hint of relief appeared on everyone's faces. Gao Feng walked towards the two corpses on the ground. When he saw the faces of Zhang Zihu and Tai Tu, his face darkened and he said, "Tiger Tooth team, it's them again, you bastard. We can't spare them this time. This sentence should be spoken by me. Gao Feng, it's not that you can't spare us, but that we won't bypass you. Those who dare to kill me, seek death." Before Gao Feng could finish speaking, Panya's voice was already ringing behind him. End of this chapter. Chapter 8 Panya's Olive Branch. Man does not walk with dogs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Panya's Olive Branch. Man does not walk with dogs. Panya. Have you ever considered the consequences? According to the law of the base city, teams are not allowed to attack each other in wilderness areas. Moreover, this regulation was personally formulated by Lei and Hong, the two war gods. If this matter is transmitted back to the base, will your Tiger Teeth team and your family still have a way to survive? Gao Feng turned around and looked at Panya in front of him. There was a hint of anger in my eyes. You should know that humans in the wilderness cannot attack each other. This is a written regulation. How dare the Tiger Tooth Squad knowingly commit a crime? Yo. 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 My memory is not good, I really don't remember. However, fortunately you reminded me. Since that's the case, then you all go to hell. As long as you all die here, no one will know what we have done. Moreover, you just hunted down the Lord-level monster, the Silver Moon Wolf. The harvest must be substantial, right? Panya said, with a hint of greed in her gaze. Shameless people, just a few of you want to grab our things. Dreaming, Qin Mu said angrily. Jokes, don't you think that killing Ironhead and Zhang Zihu can beat us? Don't forget, they are just junior generals, but Cyclops and I are intermediate generals. With our strength, it's easy to kill you who are now exhausted. Panya sneered repeatedly, looking at everyone in front of him as if he was looking at the slaughtered lamb. The gaze swept over the crowd one by one and finally landed on Qin Mu. Panya, who originally wore a fierce smile, replaced it with a smiling face and said, "Brother, if I remember correctly, we should have met for the first time. We didn't have any grudges in the past. Otherwise, I'll give you a chance. As long as you kill the other members of the Fire Hammer team, I'll let you go. Besides, you can also join our Tiger Tooth team. How about that?" That sounds like a good suggestion, but we didn't have any grudges in the past, but it seems like we've already formed a grudge. Did you see those two corpses over there? I killed them, Qin Mu said calmly. It's okay, it's just killing two useless people. Besides, after you killed them and we finished grabbing things, we lost two people. This is not hatred, it's grace. How about it? Consider it, with your spiritual talent, joining us will definitely be like adding wings to a tiger, and our team's treatment will be much better than theirs. Panya tempted again. Is that right? Unfortunately, I don't like to be with dogs. Even my teammates who go through life and death together can be betrayed. Do you still have human nature? Saying you are dogs insults dogs, Qin Mu said coldly. Seeking death. Panya's face is as cold as frost. He was originally hoping to win over Qin Mu. Anyway, there are two vacant positions in the team now. If we could bring in a spiritual minder, the team's combat power would be greatly improved. But who would have thought that this guy would be so shameless and dare to scold him? Think of it here. Panya couldn't help it anymore. Swinging his knife directly towards Qin Mu, at the same time, the remaining members of the Huya team also started to move. I have to say, the overall strength of the Tiger Tooth team is indeed stronger than that of the Fire Hammer team, which is normal. After all, how much money can one earn by honestly hunting monsters in this wilderness area? And the Huya team is burning, killing, and looting everywhere, making more money than them. Their strength and equipment are naturally stronger. In addition, both Cyclops and Panya are intermediate-level generals, while on the Fire Hammer team side, there is only one junior-level general, Feng. If we continue to fight according to this situation, I'm afraid they will suffer in the end. We must first deal with Panya, only in this way can we have the opportunity to break through the danger in front of us. However, when we just hunted the monster in Zhang Zihu, Ironhead had already used his mental power twice and cannot be used again in a short period of time. In this way, it is also impossible to launch a surprise attack on Panya. Is it difficult? As soon as I cross over, will I be killed by such a small character? At this moment, Feng retreated to Qin Mu's side with a mysterious expression on his face and said, Qin Mu, to be honest with you, I am actually a spiritual master, but my body skills are not as good as yours. As you can see from the current situation, we must kill Panya as soon as possible, otherwise we will definitely lose. I can use my psychic power to control the flying knife and expose a slight flaw in Panya. Seize the opportunity, can you kill him with one blow? No problem. Qin Mu immediately nodded. Psychologically, there was a bitter smile, but to my surprise, I forgot about this issue. Yeah. In the original drama, Feng was also a spiritual thinker who had been engaged in intense combat. Therefore, Qin Mu never remembered this matter at all. Now, he took the initiative to expose it and remembered it. Okay, after I count 3 times, let's take action together. After Luo Feng finished speaking, he began counting down. Quickly, after counting 3, 2, and 1, Luo Feng used his psychic power without hesitation to control the flying knife and attack Panya. He, who had been fighting against Gao Feng, didn't even notice that the flying knife was attacking him. Until One Eye spoke up and said, "Be careful, Captain." What? Pan Yafeng just regained his senses and saw a flying knife rushing towards him. Subconsciously, Panya dodged for a moment, and finally revealed her vulnerability. Qin Mu was the strongest attack at first, and directly launched the 3rd strike of the 9th thunder knife. The endless blade fell, and Panya was directly hit, unable to even dodge. The lightning blade slashed across Panya's waist. Cut it directly into 2 sections. Dida. 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 Blood dripped onto the ground and upon seeing Panya's body. Everyone on the field was shocked, and no one expected such an outcome, especially Cyclops. He was even more stunned. He and Panya had been together for many years, and their friendship was naturally very deep. In his opinion, with their strength, they were more than enough to defeat the Fire Hammer team. And even if we can't win, we can still run directly in the end. Anyway, at the speed of their intermediate generals, the members of the Fire Hammer squad cannot catch up. Who would have thought that this battle had just begun? Panya was actually killed. What are you still waiting for? Kill them, Qin Mu shouted angrily as he looked at the stunned crowd. You should know that at such times, there is a line between life and death. In a master duel, life and death can often be instantly determined. Now, this Tiger Tooth team is all shocked by Panya's death. It is the perfect time to take action. How can we be merciless? Without hesitation, he swung towards the one-eyed man again. This is the time to snatch people's heads. Qin Mu naturally won't be soft-hearted, after all, his system rewards anyone who kills, and the more powerful the kill, the higher the reward given. This one-eyed person is obviously the most suitable target, and if he cuts it, one-eyed person will also die on the spot. As for the remaining 2 people, before Qin Mu could take action, the rest of the Fire Hammer squad had already resolved the battle. At this point, the Tiger Tooth squad was completely annihilated. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Counting harvests and returning to supply base. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Counting harvests and returning to supply base. Mad, we have finally solved these calamities. The 3rd generation has a spirit in heaven and can rest in peace. Qin Mu, thank you very much. If it weren't for your help, we wouldn't have had the chance to seek revenge in our lifetime. Maybe we would have fallen here today. Gao Feng said. Still looking at Qin Mu with a grateful expression on his face. Over the years, they have had several encounters with the Tiger Tooth team, and several members of the Fire Hammer team have also died at the hands of Panya and others. That's why they frequently report it. Unfortunately, Panya is cunning and cautious. I have never left any evidence, and every time in the end, things never come to an end. Today, I finally seek revenge. Yeah. Qin Mu brother, thank you very much. In the future, if there is anything in the base city, you can speak up. Chen Gu also said boldly. Upon hearing everyone's words, Qin Mu nodded and didn't say much. Just looking at the corpses on the ground, he said, let's quickly pack up and go back to the supply base. Yes, so many monsters have died in this place all at once. If we stay any longer, we won't gain anything. Brothers, hurry up and pack up and prepare to retreat. We've made a windfall this time. When we go back, I'll treat you. Gao Feng smiled. Then everyone began to tidy up. At the same time, Qin Mu heard a system prompt sound in his ear. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for successfully slaying Panya and obtaining an artistic level body technique. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for successfully killing Ironhead and obtaining 3 million Chinese coins. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for successfully killing Zhang Zihu and obtaining the 4th level of the 9-fold Thunder Blade. The system reward has finally been credited. Looking at the densely packed rewards. Most of it is cash, and there are also some daily necessities, which are of little use to Qin Mu. The only useful ones among them are probably the artistic conception level body method and the 4th layer of the 9 Thunder Sword. After counting the system rewards, Gao Feng and others finally finished packing up the things on the battlefield. Subsequently, the group headed back towards the direction of the supply base. Along the way, they did not encounter any monster attacks, but their journey back to the base was much smoother. Obviously, the large number of monsters they had just killed had already cleared the area nearby. After a full journey of 2 hours. Finally, Qin Mu and others finally returned to the supply base. Looking at the grand base in front of him, Qin Mu's face also showed a hint of shock. It must be said that in this post-apocalyptic world, it was really not easy for humans to establish such a huge base. Moreover, in comparison, the technology of this era is much stronger than the one we are in. Spaceships and warships can be seen everywhere. As soon as he returned to the supply base, the members of the Fire Hammer Squad were already eager to sell their harvest. Qin Mu, of course, was also taken by them to the material recycling center. Just as he walked in, the welcoming guests at the door warmly walked up and said, "You guys, do you want to sell materials?" "Yes. Please help me contact the manager," Gao Feng said directly, clearly familiar with the area. The welcoming guests heard this. On her already enthusiastic face, a smile appeared again. It should be noted that anyone looking for a manager must have a big order, especially for the Fire Hammer team. It is obvious that she has gained a lot from this trip to the wilderness area. And for each order, these welcoming guests have a commission. The larger the order, the more commission will be drawn. So, unable to resist the excitement of welcoming guests, he immediately smiled and said, "Please come with me." Gao Feng nodded and walked forward, with everyone following suit. Not long after, led by the welcoming imam, they arrived at a counter and saw only a middle-aged man with a Mediterranean head shape waiting there. "Lao Gao, how are you? Look at your face full of spring light, you must have gained a lot from going out this time." "Don't tell me, Lao Li. I found a treasure this time. When I came back to supply the base, I came to you as soon as possible. With all these years of our relationship, you must give me a good price," Gao Feng said with a smile. "No problem, as long as it's a good thing, the price here is definitely the highest in Jiangnan Base City." Manager Li said confidently, "But what exactly is it? Take it out and see." "Okay, give you long eyes." Gao Feng took off his backpack and kept pulling out things from inside. At the beginning, old Li's complexion did not change much. Obviously, he had seen more about these ordinary materials. It was not easy to become the manager here, and it wasn't until Gao Feng brought out the head and materials of the Silver Moon Wolf that Manager Li's face showed a look of shock. "This is the Silver Moon Wolf. The hunter monster. How did you do it? Can you actually kill it?" "The secret of heaven cannot be revealed," said Gao Feng with a mysterious expression on his face. "De Hua, a hunter at the level of a beast general, this is a real treasure. You've made a fortune this time." "Wait, no, this aura doesn't seem to be at the level of a beast general, is it at the level of a lord?" "I'm tired and obedient." Manager Li looked at the head on the counter. His face was full of excitement. After all, the Silver Moon ferocious wolf at the beast general level was already precious enough. But over the years, he has also seen it. Who hasn't had a good time yet? But this lord-level hunter is rare in 100 years. Unexpectedly, he ran into it. If this thing were to be recycled and reported, his position would also be affected. Thinking of this, Manager Li's face was full of joy. How about it? It's a big deal. Give me a price, Lao Li, don't be fooled by our relationship, just give us the highest price. This time, our Fire Hammer squad has suffered heavy losses in order to hunt down the Silver Moon ferocious wolf. Gao Feng looked pained. That acting skills are so great that you can go to the Oscars and become the best actor. I won't be polite to you either. With all these things added up, I can offer a total of 1.5 billion Chinese coins. How about it? Is it for sale or not? This is the highest price I can offer within my authority. If you open it up and buy it elsewhere, perhaps you can get an additional 1.8 million, but that would probably take a lot of time. After all, no one in the entire Jiangnan base city can afford such a large quantity of goods except us. After some thought, Manager Li gave a price. Qin brothers, are you still satisfied with this price? Gao Feng turned his head to look at Qin Mu and asked. After all, this time, Qin Mu was the one who made the greatest contribution. If it weren't for him, his Fire Hammer squad would probably be completely destroyed, and there wouldn't be a chance to make such a large amount of money. Therefore, how much money to sell naturally has to be left to Qin Mu to decide. He just asked for the price. No problem. Qin Mu nodded. The price given by Manager Li was very reasonable. Then I'll apply for a transfer, Manager Li said immediately. By the way, if you have good things in the future, you can also come to me to sell them at the highest price in the base city. This is my business card, Brother Qin, please keep it. She still handed over her business card. Obviously, Manager Li is not a fool either. It can be seen that this group of people is led by Qin Mu. Immediately approach and show goodwill. It has to be said that he was able to achieve the position of manager for a reason. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Extreme Martial Arts School, Chief Instructor Wu Tong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Extreme Martial Arts School, Chief Instructor Wu Tong. Alright, everything has been sold out. The amount transferred this time is quite large, so we'll probably have to wait for a while. Let's take advantage of this time and have a few drinks first. It's really exhausting during this time. Looking at Manager Li who is applying for a transfer. Gao Feng spoke up and suggested. Is it the captain's treat? I'll give you a hard beating. Let's go together, Luo Feng, Qin Mu, you guys come too. Yeah. There are many people and it's lively. Faced with the invitation from the Fire Hammer squad, Qin Mu and Luo Feng also nodded in agreement. After all, they can now be considered friends in need, and they have been in the wilderness for a while, eating compressed dry food, and finally returning to the supply base. They definitely want to eat something good. Then everyone walked towards the restaurant together. I have to say, the restaurant in this supply base has a really good taste. In just 15 minutes, everyone was full of food and drink, and the money finally turned around. According to the previous agreement, Qin Mu took 20%, which is 300 million Chinese coins, alone. For this point, no one in the field has any objections. If it weren't for Qin Mu, where would they have had the chance to sit here and share the money? I was already killed by the Fire Hammer squad. Maybe even the bodies will be eaten by monsters. As for the remaining money, each person will receive a share, and Gao Feng will transfer the money to everyone. It's also time to part ways. At this moment, Gao Feng seemed to remember something and asked, by the way, Qin Mu, where do you live? Next time we set off, I'll go call you. Building C of Guanzi Building. Qin Mu reported an address based on his memory in his mind. What? Guanzi Building. Isn't that a slum? Qin Mu, you shouldn't be joking with us anymore, right? With your cultivation, hasn't the martial arts school given you a house yet? Zhang Ku in the team was somewhat surprised. I haven't joined the martial arts school yet. Qin Mu answered in detail. I'll wipe it off. You're too scary. I thought you were an elite disciple of the Thunderbolt Martial Arts School or Extreme Martial Arts School, that's why you're so powerful. I didn't expect you to have joined the martial arts school yet. So far, no one has guided you in your cultivation. Do you know what I want to do now? Wei Qin smiled. What do you want to do? Qin Mu was somewhat puzzled. I really want to dissect you and take a look. With the support of so many martial arts school resources, in the end, you are not as powerful as you who haven't joined the martial arts school. Your talent is too scary, isn't it? If you join the martial arts school, what's the point? Wei Qin said, feeling a bit desperate. I thought Qin Mu was so powerful. It's because the elite disciples of the martial arts school have a resource tilt. But who would have thought that someone who cultivates on their own is also so skilled? This is also too discouraging. Joining a martial arts school. I do have this idea, but I haven't decided which one to join yet, Qin Mu said with great interest. Is that so? I'm sure I joined the Extreme Martial Arts School. Our martial arts school was created by the strongest person on earth, Hong Qin. And I'll tell you, after joining our martial arts school, with your strength, you will definitely be selected for the elite training camp. By then, you can get any resources you want. Resources that are not available on the outside can also be obtained by our school owner. After all, he is the strongest person, and others' things are definitely not as much as ours. At this moment, Luo Feng also spoke up to win the way. And the other members of the Hammer Squad also nodded one after another. Obviously, he wants Qin Mu to join the Extreme Martial Arts School. Seeing so many people looking forward to him, Qin Mu nodded and said, okay, then I'll join the Extreme Martial Arts School. However, I heard that joining the martial arts school requires a probationary martial arts assessment. Now, has this time passed? Brother, are you joking? The probationary martial arts assessment is prepared for those novice martial arts practitioners. With your current strength, you can directly test it and successfully join. Moreover, it will definitely be valued by the martial arts school, explained Gao Feng. I see, then I'll go back to the base city, Qin Mu nodded. Coincidentally, I have some things to attend to at the martial arts school when I return to the base city this time. Coincidentally, let's go together, Luo Feng said as he leaned forward. Okay, let's go together, Qin Mu nodded. After speaking, everyone walked out of the supply base. Then take the train to the base city. In about half an hour, it has already sailed into the base city. Subsequently, Qin Mu and Luo Feng bid farewell to the Fire Hammer Squad. As for the two of them, they took a taxi to Mingyue Community, where the headquarters of Extreme Club is located. In front of the guard post at the entrance of the community, there are several black-clad men patrolling with live ammunition. The officer led by that saw Qin Mu and Luo Feng. Immediately, he stepped forward and said, both of you, this is a restricted area and no visitors are allowed. Please step back. Once you enter the yellow line area, you will be regarded as an enemy by us, and we have the right to shoot you. I am Luo Feng, a martial artist from the Extreme Martial Arts School. Next to me is Qin Mu, a martial artist who has registered for the assessment. I have already informed Wu, the head instructor of the martial arts school, that I have prepared for it. You can call to verify. Luo Feng took a step forward. Previously, on the returning taxi. He has already sent a message to Wu Tong in advance. After all, this is the headquarters of the Extreme Martial Arts School, so it's not easy to get in. The officer saluted upon hearing these words. Then he turned back and dialed the phone. Not long after, I walked out again. The expression on his face had already changed from indifference to a pleased smile and he said, so it's really you. Hurry up and go in, Instructor Wu. You warriors have been waiting for a long time, but our future in China. The officer still had some admiration when he said this. After all, in this era of monster infestation, warriors are pioneers who defend their homes and naturally deserve the respect they deserve. Unfortunately, in his earlier years, he had no chance to awaken and become a warrior due to being injured on the battlefield. Now, he can only protect their homeland for them. Because of this, military officers are extremely responsible in guarding the extreme home. Thank you very much. Let's go, Qin Mu. Luo Feng nodded in gratitude. Then take Qin Mu and walk towards the Mingyue community. Quickly, the two of them had arrived at the entrance of the extreme martial arts school. Wu Tong had been waiting here for a long time, looking at Qin Mu and Luo Feng as they walked in. He walked up and said, "Luo Feng, you've come back. I heard that you've had a good harvest from going to the wilderness this time. Is this the genius boy you're talking about? He looks even younger than you." "Uncle Wu, you're right about that. Qin Mu is only 17, Luo Feng smiled. "It's true that heroes emerge from youth. Come with me, the testing machine is ready," Wu Tong said as he walked towards the martial arts school, followed closely by Luo Feng and Qin Mu. End of this chapter.